Hello, welcome to Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. We're coming to you live from the CNN News18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio. It has been just a day, just about 24 hours since the Modi government has allocated portfolios to various ministers, and the opposition is already mocking it. The opposition is saying that the NDA allies have been shortchanged, that they have been given a khilona or a toy. But does this stand scrutiny? Yes, there are some allies. The Shinde Sena, for example, has been left with a modest one Minister of State, and that too for Ayush. So the opposition is mocking that. The NCP Ajit Pawar faction does not have any representation in the Council of Ministers. But aside of these two, all other allies have managed to get substantial portfolios. In fact, almost all of them have got a cabinet rank, no less. So how much truth is there in the opposition's attack that the NDA has given short shrift to its allies? Or is this born of the fact that today is just exactly a week since counting day? Last Tuesday was June 4th when we got the results. And within a week, the government is already in place, the ministers have been sworn in, and in fact, they've already started work. So is this born of the fact that after the results came the way they did, was the opposition expecting this to be a long, drawn-out, protracted affair?
एनडीए के घटक दलों को ना तो गृह मिला, ना रक्षा मिला, ना वित्त मिला, ना विदेश मिला, खाली हाथ में झुंझुना मंत्रालय मिला। झुंझुना मंत्रालय
नीतीश कुमार और चंद्रा बाबू को और चिराग पासवान को क्या मिला है? और मांझी को भी ऐसा कौन सा बड़ा मंत्रालय मिला? कुमार स्वामी को मिला है मोस्ट रिजेक्टेड पोर्टफोलियो।
There is no scope for anything to come in between TDP and the NDA, and we are very much happy with the ministry here. Not just civil aviation ministry, we've got MOS for rural development and communications. This holds a lot of scope for the development of Andhra.
उनका काम ही इस तरह की चीज़ें कहना। उन लोगों का हमेशा कोई कंस्ट्रक्टिव सोच नहीं रही है, हमेशा एक दूसरी सोच के साथ काम किए हैं।
So let's take a look at if this argument, this political attack actually holds water. Here's a look at the portfolios that the NDA allies have got. The TDP, of course, is the biggest party after the BJP in the NDA alliance. The TDP has got one cabinet, Ram Mohan Naidu, with civil aviation, and one MOS, Dr. Chandrasekhar Premasani, with MOS rural development and MOS communications. Then you have the JDU. Before that, the JDS. H.D. Kumaraswamy, former Chief Minister of Karnataka, he's got steel as well as heavy industries. The JDU has two, one cabinet, one MOS. The cabinet goes to Lalan Singh, close aide of Nitish Kumar, with Panchayati Raj and Fisheries. Ramnath Thakur of the JDU gets MOS Agriculture. Then you have Jitan Ram Manjhi, again former Chief Minister of Bihar of the Ham Party. He's got a cabinet rank as well. He's the Minister for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Chirag Paswan with 5 MPs, all 5 they contested. They have one of the LJP. He gets his father's old portfolio of food processing. Jayant Chaudhary of the RLD has 2 MPs. He's got MOS with independent charge for skill development as well as entrepreneurship. And Pratap Rao Jadhav, who's the lone MOS with independent charge from the Shinde Sena, he's got the Ayush Ministry as well as he is an MOS in the Health Ministry. Now, while the TDP and the JDU have said that they're standing firmly with the NDA, with Modi 3.0, there are some rumblings, particularly in the alliance in Maharashtra. The Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP has rejected the MOS offer that was made to them. They have said that they need nothing less than cabinet. The Shinde Sena, at least some elements of the Shinde Sena, are coming out and openly saying that they're upset with the MOS post. They too want a cabinet rank. Ajit Pawar, you heard Praful Patel 2 days ago, just before the swearing in, coming out and saying that he had been a cabinet minister in the UPA government, so therefore offering him an MOS would be some kind of a demotion. The Shinde Sena was given an MOS post despite the fact that other parties which have won far fewer seats, the Shinde Sena has won 7 seats, Kumaraswamy has won 2, Jain Chaudhary has won 2, the Hum party has just won 1. So there were other parties, smaller parties with fewer MPs who've managed to get cabinet, but the Shinde Sena was offered only an MOS. The Pawar camp is saying, that is the Ajit Pawar camp, that they're ready to wait. They are seeking a cabinet portfolio. In fact, we had a spokesperson from the Pawar faction yesterday on the show, and he said, we will get 2 more Rajya Sabha seats and the numbers will go up, and then they expect to get a cabinet portfolio. The Shinde Sena has said that they have won 7 seats. They are eligible to get at least 1 cabinet berth. So how much truth is there in all of this? Of course, in Maharashtra, it seems to be a bit of a different story because Maharashtra also goes to polls 3 months from now. So the NDA and the Modi Sarkar 3.0 has to quickly rein in these elements of disaffection, particularly as far as Maharashtra is concerned. But beyond Maharashtra, is there any element of truth to this khilona pakda diya ya jhunjhuna pakda diya? Let me now open this up to our panelists who are joining us. Shazia Elmi is national spokesperson of the BJP. Aishwarya Mahadev is spokesperson of the Congress Party. Susiben Shah of the Shinde Shiv Sena will be joining us in a moment. And Sanjeev Srivastav, senior journalist, also joining us. So, Shazia, you heard from various opposition leaders, from Sanjay Raut to Sanjay Singh. They're all saying, ye to khilona hai, you've shortchanged your allies. None of your allies have any plum portfolios or any worthy portfolios. And that you've given them short shrift. How do you respond to that?
So, I think there are 2 realities. You know, one is the reality which is out there for everybody to see, in all objectivity, with all the facts and details. And there is your own personal reality. It could be bordering on, delusionary or hallucinatory or imaginary situation. It might not be the real thing. So if they are perceiving some kind of discontent within the ranks, within either the inter-party arrangement or intra-party arrangement of NDA, which is demonstrated by the Union Council of Ministers, they have to answer for it. The truth of the matter is that the government is all set, it's hit the ground running. All the portfolios are now being taken up by very senior, seasoned politicians and very mature administrators. And not just that, I think it's a very diverse, very inclusive, and a very solid, bunch of people.
But Shazia, what do you say? What do you say to those people who say that, look, the mandate of Modi 3.0 is different. You've lost 63 seats. Obviously, the Indian voter is sending you a message, and yet most of the cabinet, most of the council of ministers that were sworn in and portfolios were allocated yesterday are pretty much the same, as though it's business as usual. You're not heeding to the mandate of the people, the message that the Indian voter is sending to you.
You know, we have complete faith in the word of the electorate, and that is Janta Janardhan, and that is where we bow, that is to whom we bow our heads to. That's one. We never blame the EVM, we never denigrate the EC, we never talk about the judiciary being against us whatsoever. We take it fair and square with all responsibility. And you have to believe me, Zaka, when it comes to our party, nothing but honesty works. And we are very tough on ourselves because there have been misses and nobody is running away from the fact. But it is also a fact that there has been an absolutely smooth transition with complete commitment, unwavering, unconditional support from our allies. We are all on the same page. Yes, some people would want more, some people would want less. But to see this and cast aspersions and wish ill and call be a doomsday prophet, which is exactly what the role of the opposition right now, I think that is untenable and actually extremely unfair.
Aishwarya Mahadev, fact of the matter is that none of the allies that you seem to be batting for, none of them seem to have a problem, Aishwarya. The TDP said they're very happy. You just heard Ramon Naidu. We played a soundbite. The JDU is very happy. Mr. Kumaraswamy is even more happy. Who are these allies that you seem to be batting for and concerned about far more than the BJP or those allies themselves are?
Zaka, the proof of that happens to be that there's a panelist from the faction that has expressed its dissatisfaction. But let me make a few statements clear. One, The fact that this is a tenuous and a sort of, a weakly held coalition or an alliance of sorts for Modi 3.0, it is an NDA 3.0. You see from the fact that people you had tried to jail, people you had taken coercive action against, today are your allies. Call it political opportunism or call it your aspirations. That is for them to decide. But the fact remains that the absolute power that you previously held is not there, one. And second, it is, Ms. Shujiben Shah today might deny what it is, but their leaders themselves have expressed what they require. And for us as an opposition, we're going to play the role of an extremely constructive and critical opposition because we feel that we have the power in parliament to do so, and that is going to be our responsibility. While maintaining the aspirations of a multitude of regional parties is upon the head of the BJP and their leadership, and it is for them on the way that they want to take it forward. But at no point can you deny that the murmurings and also the dissatisfaction is already bubbling, especially for Maharashtra being an epicenter. And let me give you Karnataka. The aspiration was Minister of Agriculture, but okay, the cabinet rank that they've been given, well and good, I'm sure that they will settle. So not all is well.
Okay.
And as much as I'd like to play out that game and all
but
for them,
Aishwarya, on the
try
one
to
hand,
sell-
you're attacking the government. The government has just sworn in 72 ministers in the council, allocated their portfolios. Congress party with 99 MPs cannot decide whether Rahul Gandhi should be leader of the opposition or not.
It is an internal party system, while a parliamentary democracy requires for ministers to be sworn in for the government to function. While my party internally decides what it is within the broad landscape of a political party, while what they have to do as a government is the responsibility that they had to undertake. Whether it was speedy, whether it was quickly decided, because every time the BJP does something slowly, you say,
May I just add a clarification? Leader of the opposition is of the Lok Sabha. It's not an internal party matter.
It is a party matter.
No, it's not an internal party matter. It is a
Rajya?
constitutional post. It is by virtue of the fact that you have X number of MPs. Therefore, it is a privilege that's bestowed upon the leading opposition party by the Constitution of India. It is not an internal party matter. This is not choosing party president. This is choosing the leader of the opposition
While
of the
the
Lok
Congress
Sabha.
party has
Anyway,
called
be that as it
parliament
may,
party
let me ask Susiben Shah. Susiben Shah, you have to answer the question that the opposition and everyone, including Aishwarya, is asking you. You have been given one MOS, and I believe Priyanka Chaturvedi tweeted saying MOS of Ayush Ministry. How many people are using Ayush in Maharashtra? What are you going to do with Ayush Ministry in Maharashtra? And one of your leaders, I think Mr. Barne, if I'm not mistaken, has come out and openly said, you're giving cabinet to people who have 1 MP and 2 MPs, and you have 7 MPs and you've got MOS.
Now, a very good evening to everyone. I think the point to be noted here that except Shiv Sena, except the NDA, everyone seems to be having the problem of portfolio allocation. Now you see, NDA is a political alliance, is a post-election alliance, right? Sorry,
pre-election alliance. Yeah.
Pre-election alliance, and we had some norms of functioning. This particular government is a government of Janmat, Sahyog, and Sabha. When we had gone, CM Eknath Raoji Shinde went to Delhi, he went to give his support, not to extract or demand something. There is a complete bohemi, there is a complete coordination between the parties. Yes, Mr. Barne did mention, but then the leader of our Shiv Sena in the parliament, Shrikant Shindeji, very clarified that there is no misgiving. We are going to work with the Ayush Ministry and we are going to work with family welfare. That part. Now let us understand the Mahayuti. We have 7 important portfolios, which are this: Cooperation, Sahkar, Agriculture, Aviation, Minister of States. So be it. But we are there. There is Ayush, there is Transport, there is Commerce. So we in the next 3 months have a road ahead.
These are BJP or how do you have all these ministries again?
We are going through as a Mahayuti. We are a Mahayuti. So between the BJP and the Shiv Sena, we have a good number of important portfolios.
Okay.
Whether it be cooperation,
so you're incorporating the Maharashtra ministers of the BJP as well.
We are a Mahayuti firmly on the saddle. We have been given 7 portfolios.
So you are not ascribing too much importance to Mr. Barne's statement. yesterday.
Not too much importance. He has said what he had to say, what he felt, but that was soon clarified by Shrikant Shinde.
And you're
who
also
was
not ascribing too much importance to your coalition partner, since you mentioned Mahayuti. Your coalition partner, NCP Ajit Pawar, has said, we have one MP, but we want cabinet. And they're holding out. And they're still confident. Even yesterday, I had a spokesperson from that faction. He said, we'll get 2 Rajya Sabha MPs whenever the next Rajya Sabha election happens. And we will get a cabinet as well.
No. See, every political party has a right to demand, should have political ambition. But we are a Mahayuti. We will work together. We have strong leaders. We have strong partners. So we all are going to work together.
Okay.
There is no need for Congress or UBT to worry about us.
Okay. So let Congress or UBT not worry about your party. Let me ask Sanjeev Srivastava. Sanjeev,
I don't know what seems to be.
Sanjeev, this whole thing is stemming from the fact the opposition's sort of jibes and khilona pakda diya and all of that is coming from the fact that last Tuesday, when we got the results, no one was expecting that within a week the government would be formed and the ministries would be allocated, people would be sworn in. Is that why the opposition is making these attacks? Because it doesn't seem like these attacks have legs, or that this is going to go on for some time, or these attacks will stick, other than in the case of Maharashtra, because there's elections 3 months down the line. But other than that, none of this seems to be sticking.
Yes, I think none of it is sticking right now, because like the Shiv Sena Shinde minister and spokesperson who is sitting here on your channel, the lady has just said that they have no problem. Naidu from TDP, who has got civil aviation, he said we are very happy. JDU hasn't said anything much, and frankly, Lalan Yadav has got a bad portfolio in Panchayati Raj. Sorry. Everything. So the opposition may be saying खिलौना पकड़ा दिया, झुंझुना दे दिया, but जिनको झुंझुना और खिलौना मिला है, they seem to be fine with it.
Yeah.
But we should also realize that the government is only 1 week old. Even if the allies will have a problem, they'll deliberate, think about it. That is in case they have a problem. I think they are making the right noises in public, but we don't know what they are saying in private to the BJP. I think the big message out of the portfolio allocation has been somehow BJP's very strong desire and Prime Minister's very strong desire to give out and send out a message as if everything is the same as it was before the result came out on June 4. So it is like it is a majority government, like they have 300 seats, which is fine. That is the message they are wanting to send, and their allies are willing to accept it. I think it's nobody can dispute it. Opposition has all right to try and drive a wedge between the coalition partners and the leader of the coalition.
If as you say, Sanjeev, that the attempt is to try and show that nothing has changed, it is the same BJP, it's the same strong Sarkar, Modi Sarkar, it's business as usual, then all this talk about, Mr. Modi does not know how to run a coalition and that he'll fail to run a coalition because, for 20 years in public life, he's never run a coalition, so on and so forth. You are basically saying it doesn't seem like a coalition.
Well, it doesn't seem like. Does it seem like to you? Because whether the coalition partners are happy with whatever portfolios they are getting, whatever the opposition is saying. But the fact is that every single important ministry has been retained by the BJP. Most of the top-rung heavyweights in common wisdom is with the BJP. So what is the coalition partner? What have they really got? So maybe there is some other track conversation or deal with the coalition partners wherein JDU and TDP will be very happy to get a special status or a big financial package, huge funds for new capital in Andhra Pradesh. I don't know.
Well, what about this? What about all this chatter about TDP and JDU pressing for a speaker position?
I see from the manner in which the portfolios have been allocated, I think the BJP is unlikely to concede on that one.
Okay.
And our name has been floated today. BJP lady MP from Andhra Pradesh, who is also related to Chandrababu Naidu, that she may be acceptable. I really doubt whether the TDP or Naidu will be more keen to have her or a TDP person as speaker. See, the speaker, I think the proof of the pudding is in eating. The speaker is more crucial than any cabinet minister portfolio.
Okay.
Speaker is the do or die, make or break. Post
that never
as
used to
far
be
as
the
Parliament
case
is concerned.
when coalitions started in the late 80s and 90s. No one wanted the speaker's position. They all wanted plump portfolios. I guess it's a evidence of how much our politics has travelled.
Sorry, I'll just make a very quick point.
Yeah.
Because then the ruling party was not in the business of breaking opposition parties and riding roughshod like
you had
the
to
BJP
complete
government has done in the past.
the sentence, yeah.
So the speaker's post becomes very important.
Shazia, but the point is this, and the reality is this, that the reason why all of this is happening at almost breakneck speed, and the reason why it's seeming like business as usual, as Sanjay was saying, was A, the Prime Minister wants to convey that image to the global committee of leaders. He wants to convey that image to the markets so that there isn't any kind of economic backtracking or economic backsliding that happens. And most importantly, he wants to show people within the BJP, people within the RSS that, look, this is Mr. Strongman Modi, just as he was in term 1 and term 2. It's going to continue like that in term 3 as well.
I think more than proving a point to others, I think it's important for us as citizens to have a strong government in place, which is good for everybody. Our position internationally, of course, definitely, but even internally, for us to know that we have a solid, strong, stable government in place, hitting the ground, running, ready to go, and without any much rancor. And so I think instead of foisting all these doubts and speculation and trying to call out people and say, oh, and tell them you should be unhappier. Why are you happy? This is very bad. It's a poor deal that you've been giving. Instead of resorting to do that, I think it's time for the opposition also to get prepared to play a strong role in the opposition, and for our government to deliver, to reach out and do the best that they should and as they intend to do.
But Shazia, you're saying people want a strong government. The mandate is for a less strong government. People are saying we don't want such a strong government also. We want a government which is put within checks and balances. That is the mandate.
So it's what happens. People vote. Yeah, people vote independently and collectively. What happens is the final outcome of the election counting is that one party is the single largest party, not touching the 272 figure,
yes,
but very close to it, 30 seats short, and the two allies which were part of the same alliance and a pre-poll alliance. So there was no jigging and realigning and hustling and bustling where this was concerned. It was there from the beginning to start with as a pre-poll alliance. So I don't see there's any issue with that, and we having any problems with not calling it people's mandate. People's mandate is for NDA by the same logic.
Okay.
And you see NDA being a part of it. The allies reiterating completely that they are not just fine with it, they want to go ahead with it, and they have faith in Prime Minister's vision, and they are a part of it.
The problem is that the numbers are so stacked up, and this is the cold, hard political logic, the numerical logic of why there won't be too many threats to this government, is because the numbers are so stacked that the TDP with 16 MPs and the JDU with 12 MPs have to act in unison to bring this government down. And clearly both Mr. Nitish Kumar and Mr. Chandrababu Naidu have very different interests and very different stakes at play here. Mr. Naidu, for example, does not have another election to face in the next 5 years. Mr. Nitish Kumar has an election to face next year. And if he pulls the plug from this alliance, not only will the central government not fall, he stands to lose the state because Tejasvi Yadav is already snapping at his heels. So the irony in this entire setup, and because of the numbers, is that Mr. Naidu and Mr. Nitish have to act in concert, and their interests must align, if at all they come to that decision at whatever point that this coalition is unsustainable and that they want to pull out support.
Zaka, let me make this clear and emphatically so, that the Congress party and its allies are not in the business of bringing down democratically elected governments. We believe in the beginning there was reaching out from both sides about where these certain parties would go, and they chose to go with the NDA. The Congress has made it very clear that all the allies stand together in being a constructive opposition. Tomorrow, if Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, who's been accused of being a criminal, who's done a jail term, and where Prime Minister himself has said that the people of Andhra deserve better, but now happens to be in alliance with Mr. Naidu and Nitish Kumar, there's a whole saga of the same. If they decide the way that they want to act, it is well and good. It is up to them. It is their choice. It is their sense of agency to do so. The Congress Party and the India Alliance have a substantial enough mandate to sit in opposition and be very constructively so. And lastly, when the role of the speaker comes in, I think predominantly the speaker needs to be somebody that does not suspend all opposition parties or MPs from the opposition en masse, and to maintain at least the dignity of the House and the well, where you don't see MPs being lathi charged. And I really hope that there are better speakers today being chosen.
No, you don't have the numbers to elect a speaker. The NDA has the numbers to elect a speaker.
It is about the natural check and balance to hope that this government that came down from a 400 par to where they are have a sense of propriety to realize that the more that they mess with the democratic functioning and of the parliamentary democracy, the more that they will pay the price for it.
No, but here's the thing. Even if you were to put up a common candidate for speaker, one second. Even if you were to put up a common candidate for speaker, and let's say Mr. Naidu and Mr. Nitish cross the aisle and back your candidate, your numbers still don't add up to what the rest of the NDA has.
Saka,
that's how the numbers are stacked up.
I understand.
No, I'm not wrong. With numbers, I'm never wrong. Sanjay, don't challenge me on my numbers.
With
JDU and TDP 28, you add that to 234. It's less than what the rest of the NDA has.
Nobody's saying we're going to prop up anybody. All I'm saying is I get the arithmetic, and also, surprisingly enough, I get more than that. What I'm trying to say is we hope that the NDA is far more responsible in selections of posts such as speakers, so they do not degrade democracy.
Shazia wanted to make a point, and then Sasiben Shah.
You the numbers that they're at.
Shazia.
I just wanted to make a small to my friend representative from the Congress Party. Just want to remind you, ma'am, that just Indira Gandhi alone toppled state governments, democratically elected state governments, more than 50 times. If you look at the entire number, there were 90 times from Nehru till down the line. 90 times elected governments have been toppled. So out of 132 amendments, 100 were done by Congress Party alone. So let's not go into the history, the dark history of government topplers and who tops that toppling list. Let's not go there. But I just want to say that instead of constantly speculating, working out the math, it's all been done. The arithmetic has been done. Chemistry is all there for everybody to see. Now let's go ahead with what our mission is. You have a big, huge role to play, ma'am. Congratulations. And I'm sure that will only be good for our democracy.
Let me ask Sasiben Shah, I outlined the positions and the interests of Mr. Nitish and Mr. Naidu. But unfortunately, Sasiben Shah, you and the Mahayuti, as you called it, you don't have that luxury. You have another election in 3 months.
Yes.
And given, Sasiben Shah, what we saw in the Lok Sabha elections, 30 to the India Alliance and 19 to you folks, and again, all of this drama that's happening around, cabinet, MOS independent charge, one party in, other party out. Why should the people of Maharashtra choose you folks again?
Yes. So the drama is created not by the Mahayuti, but the Aghadi Gathbandhan and maybe the India Alliance. Now let me tell my friend in Congress that they must retrospect themselves. It is their third worst performance. Now let us not run away from that. 100 is not like becoming 242. Now, as far as 400 par is concerned, it was a clarion call by the Prime Minister to his BJP cadres, right? That this is our milestone that we have to reach. Now, it all depends whether you want to. If a student is usually scoring 90%, and if he scores 80%, of course you will say that by come over. Here is a student who usually gets not even passing marks, has got 60%, and they are rejoicing. Now, as far as Mahayuti is concerned, so that is the thing that they must introspect. Now, as far as the Mahayuti is concerned, we went back to the drawing board as soon as we got the results. There are 161 assembly seats where as of today, we are getting a majority, right, as a Mahayuti. We only have 2 lakh less votes than the voting so far which has happened in Maharashtra. Yes, we are a little upset. It was not what we anticipated. We have to work hard, and we are back to the drawing board.
One sec. On what basis have you come to the conclusion that you will get 166 assembly
No,
leads?
161 between the Mahayuti, the assembly. If one Lok Sabha has 6
Yeah,
or
I get
7.
that. So 151 out of 288 you will get.
161 of that 160 of that as a Mahayuti in 160 assembly constituencies, we are ahead. What we've lost, the vote share that we've lost between all of us, is not even close to 2%.
I have to check.
Yes,
I have to check on that math
away.
because 30 seats to one
not-
alliance,
I will
19
send
to
it
the
to
other
you.
does not add up to
I will-
166 to you in
No,
a house of
161.
288.
That
But anyway, we'll leave
161.
that.
Yes, it's me. I'm making a responsible statement as a spokesperson also of the Mahayuti.
No.
So I've
Fair
done my
enough. Fair
maths.
enough.
But
I'm
be
just
as it
saying
may,
that
I'm not- but I'm not
that
saying
number
we are
needs to be
satisfied.
verified. Okay.
But I think people of India have voted. People of India have spoken. Congress party has got a lot of grace marks, and I think they should show some grace at this point of time. Wish the present government well instead of casting aspersions, doubts, and speculating widely, which does not help the cause.
I'll give Sanjeev Srivastava the final word. I'm really running out of time, folks.
Just last point.
Yeah, no, ma'am. Maybe another time. I want to go to Sanjeev Srivastava. Sanjeev Srivastava, they say events is what leads eventually to coalition governments succeeding or failing. What event do you see, or what state election do you see in the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, that could fundamentally alter the interests of the principal players concerned? I already mentioned both Nitish and Naidu have to do this in lockstep because the numbers are stacked up that way. What could possibly, change for them in terms of their very interests in hitching their wagons with the NDA in the next 1, 2 years or 3 years?
So I really don't know, Zaka, which election is going to trigger that. But one thing is sure, and I don't see this government falling for any reason very soon. I think it will be a stable government. But when it starts encountering problems, I think they will start soon after Maharashtra elections. Because I think Maharashtra, Mahayuti or Mahavikas Agadi, it's be a very big election and something has to give in before the election.
No, but neither Nitish nor Naidu have a stake in the Maharashtra election, so why should it fall?
Yeah, either some people from Mahavikas Agadi are likely to come to NDA or vice versa. The election in Maharashtra will not be fought as the stage is set right now. Something's likely to give in. And I think Maharashtra will trigger a bigger message. It will be as big a message as 240 seats in the parliament because that kind of sets the cat among the pigeons. So it doesn't have to directly impact Naidu or Nitish for them to become more assertive.
Okay, let's see how that plays out. Yes, Maharashtra is important, and yes, it will send out a signal as Haryana as well, simultaneously with Maharashtra. But whether or not that will fundamentally alter the dynamics of NDA 3.0 or Modi Sarkar 3.0, we'll have to wait and see. But thank you very much to all our guests.